Do you know there are 700 plus girls between the age group of 5 to 15 years of age in the UAE playing cricket every day to one day get the honor of representing the country at the international level? All this and more is stored in our today's episode. Watch this episode till the end to know what goes into the making of a cricketer, especially women cricketer. In a world divided by geographies, cricket unites everyone. And today, we have one such leader who is responsible for the development of cricket, specifically women's cricket in the UAE. A cricketer, a teacher, a coach of coaches. Let's welcome on our show, Chaya Mughal. And my first question to her would be, who is Chaya?
Yes, I'm Chaya Mughal. Naam to suna hi hoga. And I come from a very beautiful place, which is Jammu and Kashmir in India. While coming from such a place, it was a bit of a challenging initially. But as I said, when you have dreams, nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
So pursuing my dream, pursuing my career, I got an opportunity to come here as a teacher. And that's how I landed in UAE in the year 2009, I guess, 9, yes. And I started working as a teacher. I am a trained abacus teacher also. And I've been teaching in UAE from past 7-8 years. I got numerous opportunities to work with elite schools. My last one was Gems West Green in Sharjah.
Wow.
And yes, so struggling between teaching and playing cricket was not an easy journey. I juggled for this for more than 7 years, as I said. And teaching is a lot demanding in UAE. It's not an easy task.
It's a very process-oriented job over here. Yes.
So I used to start my day at 5 in the morning,
Wow.
get done with the school at around 3:45, reach home, and 6 o'clock was my training session. And that too in ICC, sometimes even in Ajman or Sharjah, wherein we have to drive for around 1.5 hours. So I used to do it because that was my passion. And when you do something that makes you happy, I think your productivity increases. Right?
True.
And that's how I did all those things for nearly 7 years. But there was a moment wherein I had to take a pause and decide, should I go with my passion or my profession? Because balancing both was becoming too difficult for me. Getting leaves every now and then, asking principals for the leave was not good from my side, actually, talking.
Yeah.
So I took a call to take my passion over my profession, and that's how I resigned as a teacher. But then, by God's grace, I got an opportunity to work with Emirates Cricket Board as Women's Development Officer, and that's how my second innings started, wherein I started developing girls cricket, especially girls from the age category of 5 to 19 years.
There are 5-year-old girls playing cricket in UAE?
And they are really, really good. If I make a team of 5 to 7 years girls, you would see them, they're never tired. You make them run 10 rounds in the ground, they won't even feel it, and they'll just do it for you. Happily they'll do it. So they're my favorites, actually. So when I started, there were barely any girls to number, but now we've got around 700 to 800 girls on board. So not just this, I'm a level 2 coach educator. As you've mentioned, I train coaches, and that's Chaya Mughal for you.
How important it is to have a coach who is well trained?
Extremely important, I would say, because the foundation has to be really, really strong.
Yeah.
And when you have a beginner who is learning from the scratch and you taught them something wrong, they're going to continue with the same learning throughout their life.
True.
Because I believe that learning is easier than unlearning the things. You
So
know, if
rightly
you have
said.
learned something wrong, to unlearn that, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So, if we teach them from the basics what is correct, if we are talking about techniques or if we are going into the particular details about playing cricket, then it has to be taught in a proper way.
So usually what I have observed as a avid cricket fan since the age of 7, let's say, what I've seen is people have a active career in sports. Once they stop having an active career, they move towards being a coach. So there is no formal training which most people take, right?
Yes.
So that's why, is there any particular course which ICC has or any cricket board has which they can take to become a certified coach in cricket?
Definitely, there are coaches certificates that normally people have to, you know, carry it with themselves as they want to become a coach. You know, it's imperative, I think, and there are a lot of coaching methodologies, I would say, which you have to learn before you start practicing as a coach. Even the best cricketers out there, you know, they are properly trained before they come into the coaching. I would say not every cricketer can be a coach, but a coach can be a cricketer. You know?
A coach can be a cricketer.
In order to become a coach, there are certain things you have to keep in mind. You have to shift your perspective from being a cricketer, and you have to be on the other side, you know, as a coach, educator. It's a different thing altogether. So you really need to learn certain things that would make you a good coach as such.
Are you somebody who loves batting more or bowling more?
Well, I'm an all-rounder, so I'm equally inclined to both. But in my team, I've mostly done bowling, so you can say I'm a bowling all-rounder.
You're a bowling all-rounder.
Yes, but I love hitting those sixes.
You batted number 6?
I did.
Okay.
For most of my time.
Okay.
But I've opened also. Depending on the requirement, purely.
Chaya, the first time you entered a stadium, your brother was with you.
Yes.
And he's been instrumental in shaping your career, your journey, your life. Tell me about your relationship with your brother.
He was the one who first instigated that cricketing thing in me, you know. He was a left-handed bat. He is a left-handed batsman. And proper technical player like Rahul Dravid.
Wow.
That's what I have seen him playing. At that point of time, I never used to understand why he's playing like that. He's playing so slow. He's not hitting sixes or stuff. But later on, I realized how good he is in playing cricket, you know, not just batting, but even bowling and fielding. So I used to try hands-on with him at home or neighborhood, you know. That's how every cricketer in India starts their journey. I'm not different than them. And then he said, hey, why don't you come with me? Yes, he used to go to MA Stadium, if you have heard of that, you know. And we used to go there. It was not very developed in terms of resources. We used to walk a long way, carrying our kit bags. And he used to carry mine also.
Wow.
Because he was my elder brother. He has to. And then we used to take the local transport.
Yeah.
And then again 1 mile of walk just to enter in the stadium and towards the cricketing ground. So we did this for like so many years out there, you know. And then he is the one who first told me that cricket has something in future, you know, why don't you pursue this as your as a serious career, you know, and then just work on it, because in women's cricket, he said definitely there is a scope.
Being a cricketer in India is a very challenging job. It needs a lot of patience. You may be an amazing cricketer,
yes,
but you may not get a chance to display your skills, right?
True.
So which means, yes, you will be successful a few times, but you will also be unsuccessful a lot more times.
Well, I totally agree with the point that you know, it's quite challenging pursuing a career or your dream of getting into the playing for the India team. You know, it's definitely, I won't say impossible thing. It's achievable, but there's a lot of struggle behind it.
A lot of ducks have to be aligned in the single line for that to happen. Your state cricket board has to recommend you.
Yes.
Your zonal selector has to recommend you.
Yes.
And everybody believes there are 3-4, let's say, main centers of cricket in India.
Exactly.
It used to be Mumbai before, then it moved towards Delhi. And then you have a little shake coming from Chennai side, and then it's
Karnataka.
every zone,
Karnataka
correct. Then, right? We spoke about Rahul Dravid, KL Rahul and all the people who came from there. So there are multiple centers happening, and with every leadership change at the center, there are obviously things which
Yes,
change. Right?
definitely.
Until now, we haven't seen somebody from J&K
Yes.
break the barriers. We had Umran doing it recently
Yeah.
in the IPL, but after 2 years, he's a faded name today.
Yeah, I would say India because it's massive. First of
Yeah.
all, there are so many states out there, and each state has definitely talented cricketers.
Yeah.
To reach up to that mark, I think it's quite a struggle. But at the same time, I would say, I think this is what makes India stronger. You know, that's something that when you know that there are people behind waiting to come in, and your bench strength is so strong that the players who are in the playing 11, they have to perform. You know, if they don't perform it, they're going to lose that spot.
Yeah.
And there are people hungry out there, you know, who wants to grab that opportunity. The BCCI initiatives for women and men out there, you know, they are amazing.
Yeah.
Not just IPL, but even the Ranji Trophy and all the zonal tournaments, the girls are getting opportunities to play, which is numerous. You know, throughout the year, if I look at the calendar, it's amazing.
It's jam-packed, yeah.
Yes, it's packed for them. So somehow, you know, all these cricketers, they are busy in playing cricket. And it's not just the recommendation that would take you up to the national side, but even your figures, you know,
Yeah.
what you have done in the previous games. And if you have done better, trust me, you can be taken. And I want to tell this to everyone out there, you know, if you are not getting something that you want right now, well, wait for it. Your time will come soon, because everyone has their time in the life. Everyone's time will come. The best thing about time is it never stays, you know.
Yeah.
If it's good time, it will pass. If it's bad,
It passes
still
well.
gonna pass. The sun is gonna rise tomorrow again.
Diet is an important part for
Yes.
any athlete.
Correct.
Now, coming from humble beginnings where you have 2 sports people in the house, what was your mother's reaction to your diet?
My mom is always a firm supporter for both of her kids, you know. Whatever we wanted to do, she's definitely supported us. And not just my mom, I would like to take my dad's name as well. Because if both of them were not there, I think we both wouldn't have been at places where we are now. So my mom and dad, you know, they have supported us in all best possible ways that they can. You know, never ever tried to put something extra on us that we cannot do, but always told us that, hey, listen, if you're doing this, this is important, you should rather take it. You know, if I'm talking about diet as such, well, I've always taken homemade food. You know, I'm a believer on the calories burned, first of all. So whatever I take, I make sure I burn them.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've done from a long period of time, and that's really worked in my body.
I want you to share a message for your dad, appreciating what he's done in life,
Okay.
on camera, at the count of 3, 2, 1. That's all yours.
So मैंने शायद कभी कहा नहीं है, but today I want to say that thank you.
Or if there's any other dad who is watching this show, what do you want to tell them about their daughters?
Well, believe in your daughter, you know. Give her the opportunity, give her the space, and have a trust, you know. Have a trust factor, which is very, very important. And if you show that trust, you know, your daughter will feel more responsible. You know, it will not let her take an advantage on that trust, but
Yeah.
that trust will give her more responsibility to do more than what your dad is expecting. And that's something that has worked with me.
Your brother, I believe, was a visionary. He saw women cricket progressing at a time when it was not so popular. It was not in a popular culture.
Yes.
And I think it recently happened in the last 4 or 5 years that once India reached the World Cup final in the women, and we got to know, okay, there is somebody called Jhulan Goswami who's a legend.
Yeah.
Just like Sachin Tendulkar, we have Mithali Raj, she's a women's legend. And then you had people from Punjab, Jemima Rodriguez, Harman, all these people coming in and doing exceptionally well. And eventually, you saw a women's cricket league coming up in India. The women matches were already happening, but the only audience would be a girls' school who would be called in the afternoon for a one-day game.
Yeah.
And Test cricket, I think, still is in a very nascent stage in women's cricket. So, this rise of women cricket, what do you think has been the reason for that?
Well, I think it's the people's perception towards the game. They just don't want to see cricket as women's cricket or men's cricket, but
Okay.
they want to accept cricket as cricket, you know, as a game.
Beautiful.
Not compare between men and women playing cricket,
Yeah.
because the method, the techniques, everything is same, you know. There's no different to it. Even now, women are hitting sixes, 86 or 90 meters. So if I talk about Deandra Doughton or Sophie Devine, you know, they have the capabilities and potential to do that. So why to compare, you know? They have 6 balls and over. Even men's have the same thing. If they can hit sixes, women's can do the same. So why to compare between men and women is something that people have started understanding. You know, they have started believing in the game so-called as cricket. And rather than, as I said, comparing both. So I think changing the perception has definitely worked in terms of upliftment of cricketing world, I would say. In fact, women's cricket is the fastest growing cricketing industry
today.
At the moment. You know?
True.
And not just this, but you know, you switch on a television, you'll always find a highlight of women's cricket going on.
Even so right now, there are a couple of matches going on,
There are. And that shows that how progressive it has gone from nothing to something, you know. I believe there is a drastic change that has happened over past 3-4 years. And I believe that even in test cricket, it's going to change soon. And one more thing which has made it evident is the telecast. You know, the games are live now. People can watch it on mobiles, on television, and it's live, you know. So that makes them believe when they look cricket as cricket, you know, when they see women out there performing like men's, they started loving the game.
True.
There's no different to it. And once you start enjoying something, it automatically grows because you'll get more views on it. So that's I think that made all different leagues to start. There are many franchisee leagues that are happening. There is WPBL, there is Women's IPL, then there is 100, then there is Fair Break, you know, a lot more. In fact, Sri Lanka has their own league, Bangladesh has their own league, West Indies have their own league. So definitely the cricket is improving, and I'm sure in future, as I said, I won't be surprised if men and women start playing together in a team.
You never know. It
there
could be a unique tournament.
Different. It could be a unique tournament. And I won't be surprised to see that.
There are a few differences between the way cricket is played between men and women, specifically Test cricket. I just know one example, which is Test cricket in women means a 4-day cricket match, and for men it is a 5-day cricket match. Is there any other difference beyond this?
Well, in T20, when we are playing the power play, there are only 4 fielders out. In men's cricket, there are 5. So that's, I think, another difference for you. And the ball that we use, it's slightly smaller than what men's use. The boundaries are definitely shorter, not too much, a little small.
That's only difference.
Rest everything is same.
Rest everything is the same. There are a lot of rules which in cricket are very ambiguous, right? Duckworth Lewis is one of them. And there are so many variations that have come to them. What do you think about the usage of technology in today's cricket matches?
Well, there's a lot of discrepancies on that. You know, different people have different thoughts on it. But if you ask me my opinion, it would be, it's definitely helpful. You know, I would say if Sachin Tendulkar had that DRS thing while he was playing cricket, he would have definitely many more hundreds, or maybe even lesser hundreds. You never know that. You know, so it's. I think it both has pros and cons. A little advantages more, because sometimes when there is a benefit of doubt, it goes to the batter's side. You know, I would say, I won't say batters are more benefited, but overall the game of cricket has improved. You know, it makes umpires realize that somebody is always keeping an eye on you, so you have to perform better. I think that's how they take a little more time in giving their decisions, rather than just raising their fingers and declaring is out. You know, they have to think twice before they give their decision out there.
Umpiring in cricket is a different career option altogether, which a lot of people are not exploring right now. If there is somebody who wants to become an umpire tomorrow, how can he begin and find a career path in umpiring?
Well, if I'm talking about women in general, I think there are a lot of opportunities which are coming up now. As I said, franchisee leagues are there. Domestic cricket is happening so much. And there are different international leagues also that happen every year now. So I think get into the umpiring thing and making your career as female umpire, it's highly payable, first of all, you know. It's lucrative profession and it's fun.
Why do you call it fun? It's so stressful.
Fun because, no, it's not.
You have to stand for 7 hours in the sun.
when you are related to the game, when you love this game of cricket, you can spend hours and hours on the field. And if you are engrossed, you feel like you are playing the game, So I would say there are definitely courses that you have to complete. And once you complete those courses, you started getting the invitations for appearing in the games and do the officiating of the matches.
From umpiring and from coaching, I want to move to a different part of your life.
Okay.
As an Indian girl growing in Kashmir, looking at a profession which is not even called a profession over there. So when you tell somebody that, okay, I'm a cricketer, and they'll be like, okay, so what do you do in your real life? Right?
Okay.
And now coming up in a very conservative household, which was open to ideas, which was open to you moving out, playing tournaments across the country, coming back, didn't you ever have the pressure? Chal beta shaadi kar le. Let's get you married. Start your real life. Go to the kitchen. How did you address those problems?
Well, I think in that case, I've been very fortunate and blessed. Not just my family, but even my relatives, coming from Kashmir. They all live in Kashmir, by the way. And I would really like to take this opportunity to thank them also, because they have also been a great support in my life. Because I know how relatives, they force your parents, sometimes if your daughters are not doing anything, they literally force your parents to just force your daughter to do something that she's not doing. As you've said, marriage.
Yeah.
So, but I've been fortunate in that case. All my relatives, they have seen me as a passionate person who wants to pursue career, whose priorities are different, and they have accepted it very well. I remember when I go to my house in Kashmir, everybody's so happy. They stop working for a few days and they just want to spend time with me. We go for picnics, for long drives and all that stuff, and they are so happy doing it. So I want to thank them a lot, all my Mughal family, back in Bhadrawa, back in district Doda. I really, really want to thank them from the bottom of my heart that they have been a strong pillar in my success.
I've seen a couple of your videos on YouTube, and I've seen you're a great in-swinger. And who was your inspiration growing up as a bowler?
I think when I grew up, I've seen Kapil Dev getting that fame and recognition.
Yeah.
And I used to always wonder, hey, this guy is like, everybody is behind him.
Yeah.
There must be something different,
True.
that he is attracting people towards him. But I started reading his books and everything pertaining to him. I understood that, that he is a man of his words, whatever he says, he does it.
Yeah.
And that's something that really got hold of my attention. And I was like, wow, bro, if he can do it, I can do it as well.
Yeah.
So I think in swinging was my inbuilt talent. The banana cut that you say, it's like I don't do anything special. I learned that skill later on. But I was born with that capability. I could swing the ball in both the direction, but in swing is my weapon.
Go-to weapon,
say.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You enjoy bowling more to right-handers or left-handers?
Both.
Both.
Yes. Left-hander, when I keep a slip,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun.
With the ball moving out?
Yes. They can't really play.
Apart from being a player, you were also a captain. Being a captain is not just a responsibility. There's a lot of things you have to do beyond the field, right?
Yeah.
Managing the player's mood, their zone, their performance zone, taking hard calls of not to make someone play in the playing 11. How does a captain manage all this stuff?
Well, I would say captaincy comes with a great responsibility. When you, not just captaincy, but when you're assigned with any position, the responsibilities becomes double.
True.
It's like you have to perform also, you have to take your team along, you have to give your 100% on the field, plus you have to produce results as well.
Yeah.
So in my daily routine, whenever we had tournaments or matches as such, I used to get up early. So I used to spend time with myself first. That's something I do it on regular basis.
What's your morning routine?
Well, I get up early morning when everybody else is sleeping. And I just spend time with myself, just praying and stuff like that. It's fun. You build a connection with the divine powers which are there, who are always with you, supporting you. So I like to do that. And then my day starts as soon as we used to come on the breakfast table, looking at players, their body language, the moment they used to say good morning, I used to know that this is my player for today. And this is the one who is not ready for today's game. You know, so it starts with the observations.
The body language speaks a lot?
The body language speaks a lot.
Okay.
And as a captain, it's my responsibility to identify the star players for my team. You know, it's not only thinking about what am I going to do today, but it's also about how am I going to produce results. Ultimately, it's the victory that I want, right?
Yeah.
So that my team can move ahead. So those players which are good for me today, you know, who are going to perform, using them at the right moment, you know, wherein somebody else is struggling and one quick decision changes everything. You know, bringing in a bowler who has never bowled and suddenly they come and get a wicket for you is something that...
Thinking out of the box.
Yes, thinking out of the box. So that's the responsibility, sole responsibility of captain.
Cricket or batting in particular has gone to a lot of transformation. Today there are cricketers who are hitting shots all across the park.
Yes.
So as a bowler, when you know that this is a batsman who is going to just go behind the wicket, a dil scoop, a reverse hip, how do you prepare for such kind of things?
Well, how much ever you prepare, you know, if it's A.B. de Villiers batting, you know, he can still hit anywhere out of the park, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, I think you just go with the flow, see what's not working well for them on that day, and you try to do that. Maximum, you know, what I tell this to everyone is that don't go behind the wickets.
Yeah.
Just try to contain. The moment you contain it, like 2 dot deliveries, third is
they are under
going to be
pressure.
a wicket.
Yeah.
Third ball, he will try to do something else, and that will end up in losing the wicket.
The life of a fast bowling all-rounder is shorter as compared to a spinning all-rounder. Why did you still select this particular field?
Well, I think it's, you don't choose it, you are born with those instincts. I mean, Shoaib Akhtar would have never thought that he's going to be the Shoaib Akhtar.
Yeah.
You know, even knowing that his run-up is so long, he never shortened it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he wanted to be with the same aggression that he has always been with.
Yeah.
So I think you don't choose it. You are born with those capabilities, and you just want to do that as how much ever time you can do that.
A lot of cricket today is played on a computer, and when I say the computer, it is the analytics which go behind, and it all falls back on the captain to take a call. Today we have seen a lot of cricket being played just with numbers. That okay, it's a 20 over T20 game. This over has to be bowled by this guy, this bowler has to be against this batsman the moment he steps in. So managing workloads, keeping all these numbers in the mind, all the permutations and combinations, is it just a captain's responsibility or just the coaching staff?
Well, definitely we make plans beforehand. You know, studying the opposition and getting to know about their weaknesses and strengths is something that all international teams do at the moment, and which is good in a way. You definitely make plan A and plan B, but the execution part, it happens inside the field.
True.
You know, sometimes you have a certain plan in your mind, but if that's not working, as a captain, you should be able to alter the plans. You know, sometimes I've taken weird decisions on the field. Sometimes it has worked, sometimes
they've not.
So that's okay. I mean, you from your perspective, you think what's important at that period of time. And if it's working, it's well and good. You continue with that. You know, sometimes you go with your gut feeling, and gut is something that always tells you to do right. You know.
True.
So that has worked for me many a times. Sometimes the plan that comes from outside. Sometimes the coaches, they check the figures, and at the moment, you know, they decide on something. That has also worked. So I would say it goes hand in hand. You know, plans always should be there. But if it doesn't work, then the captain should be in a position to just take any decision on the field, and then everybody, the management, have to back them.
Which is the most difficult batter you have bowled to?
Deandra Doughton and Danny White.
Oh, she's brutal.
Yes, she is actually. But I nearly got a wicket when somebody just dropped the catch from the hands.
Okay, that hurts.
That really hurted. Oops. But they are really good, really good. The world boss.
Yeah. The world boss.
The world boss.
Yeah, true.
Deandra Doughton.
Yeah.
And she can hit you sixes with the flick of the wrist.
With the flick of the wrist,
yes. And long sixes, by the way, you know, in the stands.
Yeah, true.
Not just on the boundary rope, in the stands.
And which is one bowler you don't want to face as a batter?
Shabnam Ismail, maybe.
Yeah, pretty fast.
Pretty fast. Pretty fast. And
She reminds me of Alan Donald in the 90s.
yeah.
Yes,
And she's
lightning
fierce.
fast.
She
yeah.
is fierce.
Yeah.
You know, if you dare to hit her a boundary,
Oh, you are dead.
oh, I mean,
Get ready
next
for the
ball,
bouncers.
Either you're gonna be bowled or it's
Yeah.
gonna be on your
Yeah.
shining helmet.
Yeah, true. So, which is one incident which happened with you on field, which changed you as a person off field? Have you ever had that self-doubt on you sometimes?
Not really. I've never doubted on my abilities. You know, things have not worked. Okay, fine, but that didn't change my perception towards myself. Once you started having that doubt in your mind, I think you create an obstacle for yourself. You know, and that nobody can help you with that. So never ever I would recommend to have these doubts for themselves in their mind. But there was something that happened, you know, while I was playing, and one of the junior cricketer, I used to coach them and train them also. So I was in a dilemma, should I play well or should I not? Because if I do not play well, then probably she'll get
Carried
more
away.
confidence.
Yeah.
And if I do play well, then probably she would think that she's not learned enough, you know. So that was, I think, something that I was thinking on the field, and I ended up not throwing my wicket, but then I played okay, you know. Then I realized I should talk to her, and then I went and I talked to her, and I think that changed her life also, and that made me also realize that in order for somebody to learn something, I think sometimes we have to sacrifice certain things. You know, you don't have to always, when you are in a good position, if it's in your capability to do something, we should do that.
You proudly wear the UAE logo, the UAE national flag on your shoulders, and then you had a chance to compete against India in a match. What was your feeling when the national anthem was being played for both the countries?
Well, that's something I can never forget. I remember we were playing Asia Cup in Bangladesh, and we had match against India, and Smriti Mandana was the captain, and they won the toss. They wanted to bat first. We lined up for the anthem. The moment Indian national anthem started, you know, I had goosebumps.
Yeah.
Coming from India, playing against India, I'd never thought, honestly. When I was a kid, I would have never believed that I would do that one day, you know.
Yeah.
I've always dreamed of playing for India.
Yeah.
But ending up playing against India was something not even in the wildest of my dreams, you know.
True.
But when the national anthem started, all of us, you know, our 99% UAE team is from India.
Yeah.
So all of us are wearing shades, but inside there are literally tears, you know, almost going to roll down from the eyes. But we are holding our emotions, controlling them. But, and as soon as it gets over, then UAE national anthem, you know, suddenly I'm getting mixed feelings again. You know, the moment it started playing, you know, I was like, yes, I belong to this place, you know.
Yeah.
UAE is my country now. It's not like India is not my country, but UAE has given me so many things, you know. How can I not be loyal to it?
Not be grateful about
not
this.
be grateful about it. And then all of us were singing so loud, you know, all of us being so grateful. And the moment you realize that you're bearing a logo on your chest and you are witnessing something, you're representing a country, you know, at an international stage, it's a big, big thing.
Which is one experience which you want to share with somebody who's growing up today, wanting to be a female cricketer?
Well, I want to first of all tell everyone that all dreams are possible. You know, there is nothing that you feel you can't do it. Everything is achievable, provided you have the urgency of doing it, provided you really want to do it, provided you are willing to accept the challenges that are coming your way, provided you're willing to do hard work. You know, when you have, because there's no shortcut to success. There's no shortcut to success. You have to work hard in order to achieve something.
A lot of dreams in India are killed just for seeing a child academically successful. Because for them, education is English, Hindi, science, mathematics, geography, all these subjects. And then sports definitely takes a backseat. Were you pushed to be academically good, only then you can go and play?
No, I think that there is a very thin line of balance that you have to maintain. You know, if you want to pursue your studies along with something else, you know, I'm
Which is
talking
your
about
passion.
extracurricular
Yeah.
activities, you have to always maintain a balance. And I've done it throughout my life, and it's not very difficult. Having set routines is very, very important. I tell this to all parents out there. When I was a teacher also, I used to recommend it to everyone. You know, if you want to have habits inculcated in your kids, you know, have set routines in your house. That doesn't mean on Sundays you let your child get up at 11 and on weekdays you're expecting them to get up at 7. How's that possible? You know, you're not building a routines.
Yeah.
If there are no routines in life, it's like, you know, an aimless balloon in the sky, you know.
When you were traveling for the first time outside the UAE, outside India, and you're traveling to places where you don't get as much Indian food as possible, what is your backup plan?
South Africa, we struggled.
Yeah, okay.
And Uganda, of course. East Africa and South Africa were the places wherein finding Indian food was quite rare and difficult. But I think our team managers were good enough to find someone who could cook for us.
Okay.
And I think we got the food delivered to our hotel every day for that many period of days.
Your favorite bowling all-rounder, apart from you?
I think my favorite is Sophie Devine in terms of women's cricket. And I have got time to spend time with her. I had the opportunity while we were playing in February, though we were in opposite teams, but still I think I spent half an hour with her talking all about her things and stuff, and she's so down to earth and humble person that I'm in love with her. Yeah, I really, really admire her.
So when you admire somebody, when you meet them, are you starstruck at times?
I think that happened with the whole team when we were playing against India. Yes, because definitely coming from India, you know, and UAE mostly had, on an average, if I say, there are mostly girls ranging from 16 to 19 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, those youngsters, when they are in the team and they're seeing Smriti Mandana, Jamima Rodriguez and Adipti Sharma and all those players that they have always seen on television, suddenly they're in front of you and they're playing against you. You know, they are starstruck and they're just simply standing, and I'm literally have to tell them, listen, we are playing a game, come on girls, come on, let's do this. But that was a moment when everyone was like that. But for me, I think when I met with Kapil Dev, that was my moment with him.
Yeah. Is Shefali Verma really hard to bowl to? Is she brutal on the field?
She is definitely brutal. I remember when I was in South Africa and I went in as a mentor with our under-19 girls.
Okay.
So UAE was playing against India and Shefali Verma was the captain.
Yeah.
And I think the whole time that she was batting, our heads were like this, you know, like this.
Where
like
to
this.
go? You're
And
just
she
moving
is
out of
a
the...
clean hitter.
Yeah.
You know, she can hit sixes at her will.
Yeah, true.
That's the best thing that I liked about her. So she definitely possessed the power and the skill.
A lot of cricket teams, we had a very interesting situation in the recently concluded Border Gavaskar Trophy when the captain of Indian cricket team, Mr. Rohit Sharma, decided to sit outside for the final match.
Yeah.
Has something like this happened to you?
Yes, I would say, because cricket teaches you to be humble. You know, one day you score 50, the other day you get out on 0. And gradually you understand, hey, this is not working for me, you know. So if something is not working for me, maybe somebody else can do it.
Yeah.
So it's not backing out from certain things, but it's using the people who are right for certain things, you know. And if you take those decisions, people will always remember you, rather than being there and doing nothing and become the accusation or the point of talk for everyone else. It's better to stay out and let others do it. My in-swinging deliveries are not working. I would rather take somebody who is bowling out swing, and that is working for me on a particular day. I will not bowl my 4 overs. I'll just be satisfied with 1 and I'll give 3 overs to somebody else who is doing well on a given day, you know.
Yeah.
I've not been sat out, but then I'm just there as a captain and not done anything. That's many a times it has happened.
Something which Mahendra Singh Dhoni does a lot with Chennai.
So captain need not to perform. I'm not saying they don't have to perform, but then even if the performance doesn't come, but to lead the team towards the victory is something which is very, very important.
There comes a time in every cricketer's career when they have to decide, okay, today I was not myself, maybe it's time to take the call. When I say the call, it's like now time to move on and pass on the baton to somebody young in the team and hang my boots. Did that moment happen for you
Of
till now?
course, I mean, every cricketer. This moment has to come in everybody's life, you know.
And how did you react to it?
That was, I mean, I still, if I think about it, it brings tears to myself, because this was something I've done for so many years out there, you know, having that UAE logo on your t-shirt, and when you realize that this is no longer going to be there, you know, you get up on one fine day and you realize that my time is over now. I think I should let somebody else take my place, you know, because maybe they can do better for the team rather than myself, and I've done enough, you know. It's really good if we can bring the youngsters in and get that fresh vibe in the team, you know. So that moment came in my life, I think 2022, I guess. We were playing home series here in UAE against Namibia, and I was very fortunate that I got to do this at my home stadium, Dubai International Stadium. And I think in UAE it was the first time when a female cricketer got that guard of honor.
Beautiful.
And all that press conferences and everything, you know. I had literally tears in my eyes, and there were camera persons, spokespeople who were asking me questions, and I wasn't able to reply. So that was my plight, and I was wearing big shades, of course, to hide my tears.
Yeah.
I wished it rained on that day, but it didn't. You know, here in Dubai. So, yeah, it was very, very, very emotional moment for me, overwhelming, and all the players which were there, you know, bidding me farewell. That cake, you know, when they cut, I think it was, I can't describe it.
What made you?
Really sad.
What made you go for that moment?
Definitely, it's the performance, and besides the injuries. You know, over the period of time when you played so much of cricket, your body tells you that you need to relax a bit now. And I think that was a call that came to me, and I had to take some serious action.
So the knee surgery was the one which prompted you to take this decision?
I didn't have a surgery, but it was severe pain which I cannot bear anymore. So I had to take a call. And my parents definitely, they supported me. Of course, I had long discussions with them.
Yeah.
And they definitely recommended that it's high time, you know, because I've been in that pain from a long period of time, and I had to literally take a call. Health is more important.
Now let's come to your core responsibility in the Emirates Cricket Board, which is development program. So what are the key elements which need to be there at the grassroots level for you to have 6 teams playing in a domestic tournament?
Well, I think first of all, there has to have a domestic structure, which is very, very important. You know, once plus the facilities available for the training. You know, you can't expect players to turn up with no trainings.
True.
You know, if I'm having a 16 tournament, that means I've literally worked hard, going into the schools and colleges, you know, going for talent hunt and scouting, getting those probable players out. Sometimes even from the scratch, we have done it. You know, we have team of elite coaches who are equally capable coaches, you know, qualified coaches as such. And when we train these girls from the grassroots level, I think it's not just a skill training as such, but retaining of the players is very, very important. You know, you have to train them in such a way that they feel happy about it, that they want to come back and play cricket.
Do we have any specific academies in the UAE which are teaching cricket only to the females?
Not as such. Academies are basically, they have boys as well as girls. But if I talk about my program, the ECB initiative, which is Girls Get Into Cricket, well, this is a program only for girls from ages 5 years onwards up till 19, wherein we train any female aspirant who wants to play cricket. We welcome them and we give them free trainings. Well, we have a couple of sessions in Abu Dhabi, couple of training centers are in Abu Dhabi. We've got 3 centers in Dubai. We've got 1 in Al Ain.
Wow.
1 in Sharjah, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So all these centers are currently running, and all these centers have plenty of girls who train on regular basis.
And what's your vision in 3 years to see this grow?
Well, if I'm seeing 700 to 800 girls in 3 years of time, I want to see thousands of girls participating. And from 6 teams under 19, I want to see around 15 teams under 19 playing. And this is just under 19, mind you. There are many women out there who play cricket, softball and indoor cricket. They are plenty. I remember I was invited to one of the event, and there were around 14 teams of women who were participating in a softball tournament. It was a community festival, and there were 14 teams of women who were playing cricket.
That's like 250 people already for you.
Yes. Yeah. This was amazing, you know.
Is it difficult to get sponsors for women tournaments?
Not really. Initially that was a bit of a struggle.
Okay.
Now I've seen people who are generously coming and helping the women teams as such.
Okay.
You know, as many of the times I've attended a lot of festivals wherein teams are always sponsored, which is huge. That's amazing. Even bigger names as such, even in UAE, they are willing to sponsor.
So when we talk of women's cricket, we know the top 6-7 teams, and then there is a string of teams which are struggling to be going towards the next level, right? Among those teams which are right now at a pedestal, so which are the teams you think are going to hit big in the next 3 years?
UAE for sure.
Okay.
Because I could see a lot of potential. A lot of girls who are part of the women's cricket team in UAE, they are amazing.
Yeah.
You know? Not just the talent-wise or skill-wise, but you know, they are sensible cricketers. I think Thailand has already proved themselves.
True.
Even now they are not that great because a transition is happening again.
True.
But I could see them also emerging. And Nepal.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think Nepal is doing amazing in both men's and the women's cricket.
The women's, you know, they are, I would say they are the passionate cricketers.
Yeah.
Nothing matters to them. They just want to win the games. Yeah.
What happens in the dressing room stays in the dressing room. Share me a secret, a spicy
used to be
story.
Our motto, actually. Dressing room stories, बहुत सारी होती है, you know. But I always tell them what's happened here stays here. That's fun part. Dressing room is a place which I think to all the players it's very close to their heart. True. Because that's the place wherein we cry, we dance, we sing. और हम एक दूसरे को मतलब कुछ भी कह सकते हैं वहाँ पे, you know. In the dressing room, it's like you have the liberty to do anything. But the moment you're inside the rope, you're totally different people. Yeah. So dressing room में I think mostly जब जीतते हैं तो अलग माहौल होता है, you know. It's like those jumping on each other. I mean, literally climbing on each other's shoulder is something that I really enjoyed. और dressing room में mostly I think there were few players in the team जो बहुत ही funny jokes करना पसंद करते हैं, you know. Something that has always stayed in my heart was when we qualified for Asia Cup, you know, and we won the match against Thailand. That happened in Malaysia. Yeah. And the moment we came in the dressing room, all of us are crying, you know, all of us are crying. और एक दूसरे को hug करके मतलब सबके सब रो रहे हैं. And then afterwards, when we got the trophy, you know, it's like कोई अलमारी के ऊपर चढ़ा है, कोई चेयर के ऊपर खड़ा है, and somebody is standing on somebody's back, you know, just doing anything. सब कुछ हो रहा है, and then literally this scene is happening. Well, I think it's literally fresh in my mind, and I can never forget those memories.
So now what we'll do is a fun segment. I've never done this before, so this is random between you and me. I'll say the name of a cricketer, men's or women's cricketer, and you have to say the first word which comes in your mind because of that name. Okay. Okay. Virat Kohli.
Aggressive.
Rohit Sharma.
Pull shots.
Jasprit Bumrah.
Fury.
Mithali Raj.
Legend.
Jhulan Goswami.
Pace.
Pace. Sophie Devine.
I'm in awe. Super favorite.
Eccleston.
Amazing spinner.
Atapattu.
Power.
Chaya.
I think you should give me a name for that.
Energy. There's a vibe around you all the time. And Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Calm.
Sachin.
Legend.
We at UAE have hosted a couple of World Cups as well already, right?
Yes.
So what do you think is going to be the future of UAE in cricket as a hosting nation?
Well, I think we've really earned a spot in this because hosting 2 World Cups, you know, at such a short period of time. Yeah. And doing it so well, you know, the results were amazing. Yeah. And all the things, you know, which are expected to happen at an international level, when they were delivered, I think we earned a spot for ourselves. We as in, I'm talking about Emirates Cricket Board. Yeah. You know, and UAE, since you've said because of the proximity and all the nations, because they love to come here because of the weather. True. None of the matches get delayed here because of rain.
Yeah.
What an amazing thing, isn't
Yeah.
it? So there's no factor for rain here. It gets usually hot,
Yeah.
but then if you come at a season which is just right for
Yeah.
everyone to play outdoor cricket, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Now is the time for that. But otherwise also, you know, it's a place which invites everyone to come in, do a lot of shopping. You know, it's closer, the flights, the connectivities are amazing.
The facilities are
The
amazing.
facilities are amazing. The resources are amazing. I mean, for training, if you get an academy like ICC
Yeah.
or in Dubai or Sharjah Stadium to play, I mean, what else you could ask for? This is
Yeah.
amazing. People have accepted cricket as cricket,
Yeah.
not as women's cricket or men's
Cricket, true.
And it was not just women who were coming out to watch female cricketers, but it was all men out
It's a
there
family
who wanted
event
to
now.
play
Yeah,
cricket,
it is.
who wanted to watch cricket. You
Yeah.
know?
So as a development officer, when you're looking at cricket, when you're looking at girls coming up, becoming better cricketers, what do you think is one thing which you miss doing right now?
Playing for the nation is something that I miss.
Hmm.
You know, that's the only thing which I would say I'm not doing at the moment.
Yeah.
But playing cricket is still there. I still
Yeah.
play cricket. I still train myself. I can play franchisee leagues also.
Hmm.
But when you play that UAE jersey, you know, when you have that emblem on your
Yeah.
shoulder and then you're representing a country, that is something that I miss. But having said that, when I'm working as the development officer with Emirates Cricket Board, I think it's working like a soothing balm for me.
Hmm.
You know, it's like it's helping me to come out of that phase. And I was thinking, had it not been there, what would I have been doing right now? But thankfully, as I said, God has different plans. So I
True.
got this one on my bucket, and I'm
Yeah.
really, really happy.
Yeah. Do you believe in manifestation?
I do.
Okay. Do you manifest?
I do prophesize.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So there is something which the team sitting in the studio right now manifested for you. We'll just show that manifestation to you. What we discovered today was a different Chaya than what I found online.
Okay.
Right? So we have manifested this, keeping that in mind. Please have a look at this.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And you can just take the ribbon off, go through it. We believe that in a couple of years from now, you will not just be an inspiration for the people listening to you in this podcast today, but also to girls across the world, not just in the UAE. And that's what we have manifested for you today. And you can just show it to the camera.
Of course.
And read through it. This is, we believe that you will be a key force in enhancing women's participation in sports, not just in cricket and beyond. Yeah.
I'm going to write a date here.
Yeah,
And I
let's
will
do that.
Definitely remember to always take a look at it every day when I get up
Yeah.
and just speak these words.
And once you do that, then we'll be more than happy to host you again once this goal has been achieved from your
Definitely,
side.
we should do that.
We had an amazing conversation with her, and she is changing life of women cricket in the Emirates, one student at a time. There is a lot to her life beyond cricket, but every time we just try to discover a layer, everything ends up being connected to cricket. Thank you for watching this episode till the end, and we hope to bring you more such inspiring stories in future. Stay connected. What should you choose and why? Today's episode is the real answer behind this. And share in comments the questions you would want us to ask from our guest in the future. If you know any budding cricketer who wants to hear this story, please tag them in the comments.